How to look good on camera. Hey everyone, I'm Matthew Cornwell with Get Taped here in Atlanta, Georgia, one of Atlanta's original audition taping services. And you guessed it, I co-own it with my wife, Brooke. Boom. She's hot. Anyway, on to our topic. How to look good on camera. Of the tens of thousands of auditions that I've recorded in my career, I can tell you without a doubt that the vast majority of actors don't understand a camera lens and therefore have neglected their relationship to the camera lens.
Danger, Will Robinson.
The camera lens is the most important piece of technology between you and the audience. So if you're interested in pursuing a lifelong career in TV and film, then you should desire to understand this. As a side note, I think that actors that are also savvy with social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok sort of already have an understanding, more so than the average actor, when it comes to this relationship with the camera lens. But let's dive in and bring everyone up to speed. This video will come in two parts. The first part will be about the camera lens itself and how its distance from you can have a huge impact on how you look. In the second part, I want to get really specific about a type of scene that comes across an actor's inbox very often and how actors oftentimes aren't taking full advantage of the self-tape environment. But for the rest of our video, let's head on over to the Get Taped studio. Hey there, welcome to our studio here at Get Taped. And what I want to do now is show you a demonstration using different lenses at different distances and how lenses affect what you look like on camera. Right now I'm still using my trusty iPhone XR that I use for all my videos. It's the selfie facing camera about arm's distance away. I'm going to do a quick demonstration on this phone, and then I'm going to move to our Canon Vixia camcorder, which is what we use for all of our audition taping here at Get Taped, which is also currently at the same arm's length distance to replicate what we see on the iPhone. I tried to match these up as much as I could. And then we'll get rid of the iPhone and show you a few more demonstrations on the Canon at various distances, and we'll compare them and see what we see. So all I'm going to do for each of these demonstrations is say my name to camera. I'm going to look down, I'm going to look up, I'm going to take a step back, I'm going to take a step back forward, and then look to the side. And that way when we compare it to the other versions, we'll really see what the differences are with camera lens and distance. Hi, I'm Matthew Cornwell. So as you can see from these first two demonstrations, the iPhone XR and the Canon Vixia at the same distance pretty much replicate the same image. Now let's see what happens if we move our Canon Vixia camera back to the spot where we normally tape actors. Here's the Canon Vixia at 8 feet away, which is the placement that we have for all of our audition tapings here at Get Taped. Already you can notice a few things. First of all, when I tilt my head down or up, when I step forward and backward, there's not nearly as much exaggeration with my movements. Also, my facial features and my proportions with my shoulders seem to look a little bit more natural. And let's face it, as actors, we all have a little bit of sensitivity when it comes to our own image, so this makes me feel a whole lot better. See, your relationship to the camera lens is already changing. But this relationship with the camera lens has so many nuances, and I want to go into one particular instance in depth, the driving scene. When I'm taping an actor who has a scene that takes place in a car, on a park bench, or any other setting where they are sitting next to the other character, 9 times out of 10, they square up and face me directly and act out the scene this way. Now, we are firm believers that this is your audition, so we will never give you unsolicited advice. But what generally happens is after 1 or 2 takes, the actor intimates to me, I don't know, something just feels off. I'm just not feeling it. So then I'll proceed to tell them to have a seat if they aren't already. And here's the magic tip. Turn your chair 30 degrees, 45 degrees to the side. Gasp. But isn't that like illegal? Are you really allowed to do that in a self-tape? Of course you are. Actors, stop having so much fear around what you are allowed to do in a self-tape. This is your audition. Don't go crazy and do weird stuff, but turning your chair to the side is not violating any rules. Trust me, I've been doing this since 2005. Ugh, that's a long time. Because like we've said so many times on this channel, Take ownership of your auditions. Take ownership of your career. Because 100% of the time after the actor makes the adjustment, they say to me, wow, I never thought to do that. Oh, I felt so much more connected. The reason these actors suddenly feel so much more connected, so much more grounded in the scene is because it makes sense. This is realistic if I'm driving a car and just occasionally looking over at the passenger. Furthermore, and I'm going to get into a little bit of relationship psychology here, if you're ever having to have a hard conversation with your loved one, whether it's a family member or a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend, go for a walk. This is tried and true advice because when you're walking side by side, it is much easier to have tough conversations than if you're sitting across from each other face to face. So these writers are smart. They have written these scenes intentionally to take place in cars, on park benches, and so forth because they want to do the following. They want to allow you, the actor, in character, to have both the public, if you will, conversation with the other character, but then to have your private internal monologue happen every time you look out that front windshield or every time you're staring at the squirrels in the park. And that constant tension between when you're engaging with that character and when you are able to have your own private thoughts is what makes this scene interesting. It becomes this battle between the internal monologue and the external dialogue. And if you're squared up facing the other character the whole time, then you're not able to explore that tension in the same way, which is why those actors always feel like something is off, something doesn't feel right. Because intuitively, you know you need to be disconnected at times as you are looking out the front windshield. See how that works? I do have one disclaimer, which is don't turn this into CSI Miami. No offense to David Caruso if you're watching. But if you overdo this and over-rehearse the beats of your scene such that you know exactly the moment you're going to be looking at the windshield and exactly the moment you're going to be looking at the other character, it won't feel right anymore. And you'll have lost the advantage that you gained when you decided to turn your chair to the side. So in short, keep it organic. So now that I've shown you one nuance of your relationship with the camera lens, I hope this has inspired you to explore this concept even deeper. I do teach an 8-week on-camera class called Get Worked here at Get Taped in Atlanta, Georgia. Sorry if you're watching this from some other city, where we go over a lot of the technical challenges that happen on set. We don't really talk about craft so much, but we work on scripts with the camera each week in a way that deepens your understanding of the camera and enriches your relationship with that camera so that when you are on set and there are 30 people staring at you and it's a $150 million blockbuster movie and you're expected to be on your A game, you'll feel much more confident in how you and that camera will work together to give the best performance possible. If you're interested in my Get Worked class and you live in Atlanta, Georgia, check out the show notes in the description below. It'll have a link to our website where you can inquire about the next time we are offering that class. As always, if you're enjoying these videos, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of future content, and never hesitate to leave a comment below. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on set.